Thames Estuary Asset Management 2100, otherwise known as TEAM2100, looks to protect 1.4 million people, over 4,000 different assets, and some £300 billion worth of property in London, Essex and Kent. Set up by England's Environment Agency as part of the Thames Estuary 2100 plan to act against climate change and rising sea levels in the estuary. This award-winning programme is the largest of its kind in the UK. It consists of an integrated delivery team led by the Environment Agency, with Jacobs as programme manager and designer and Balfour Beatty as contractor.
TEAM2100 covers the full extent of the tidal Thames, and that basically goes from Teddington Lock in the west of London all of the way through the kind of EastEnders line, if you like, of the map, out to Sheerness and Shoeburyness on the Essex and Kent coasts. So everything that sort of stops the tide from coming in and flooding either the marshes or the high density central London areas. The programme basically is an asset management programme focused on maintaining the standard of protection for the communities, but also all of the infrastructure that you would imagine is in London, so tube lines, hospitals, schools, everyone that lives and works within the tidal floodplain is protected by the defences that we look after as a programme.
So we've come together as an IDT, an integrated delivery team. That's Jacobs, Balfour Beatty and the Environment Agency to deliver that programme. We're united as a collaborative team by our vision to enhance communities, the environment and sustain London in the long term from flood risk and climate change as that happens. So the strategy, what we're trying to deliver is over the long term, but because we're a different type of programme, we're not just to deliver a piece of infrastructure by an end date, we are continuous. We must bridge that gap between programmes, so we have to keep moving forward. So our programme isn't just about delivery, it's about keeping things moving forward and being ready for the future to continuously maintain assets within the estuary.
Well, asset management really is at the heart of TEAM2100. TEAM2100 stands for Thames Estuary Asset Management 2100. So everything that we do has an asset management touch to it, because this is not just about capital projects. It's not just about fixing walls. It's about finding a way to manage these assets and what is the best strategy on the long term that will give you the best performance and the least cost and the lowest carbon footprint, for example.
Balfour Beatty's role on the project is to act as the delivery partner. We get involved in the early part of the design phase and pre-construction phase. We work with Jacobs on looking at various aspects of design. And eventually, once everybody's happy, looked at the various prices and the risk associated with those jobs, we then get instructed and we then go on to deliver those projects. So then Balfour Beatty take on that sort of direction, or that fundamental role then to deliver those projects safely.
The assets, which are retaining walls or embankments, are needing to be upgraded, they need to be higher, and so for the community, businesses, protecting London, it is absolutely vitally important that we upgrade these assets and plan for future years, not just in the immediate future, but long term as well.
Safety is paramount for Jacobs, Environment Agency and Balfour Beatty. And it's a really in-depth cultural part of what we do as individuals within our organisations. As we bring that culture together then, it's just about bringing the best processes from each of the organisations, best systems, best governance together. And through that we take that culture and create a system that is safe for everybody.
It's a fundamental part of any particular construction project. We want to make sure that everybody goes home safely at the end of the day to their family and their loved ones. So that drives our ambition to ensure that we have zero harm.
So we are very, very much committed in innovation in TEAM2100. We are a pathfinder for the wider Environment Agency, which gives us the responsibility that comes together with a license to trailblaze, so that we can explore new ways of doing things and essentially bring back this experience so that the Environment Agency uses it with other projects.
Sustainability is pretty much at the heart of everything we do and we should be doing. Inception to delivery, carbon is a central part.
The best option and the best opportunity that we have to embed sustainability is at the planning stage, which is precisely what we do on asset management.
So the aim is to have a reduction in carbon demand from the design phase to the delivery phase. Our objective is to reduce carbon by a certain percentage. We review that every year and that target goes up.
TEAM is an exemplar of how communication, collaboration should work.
We've got the Environment Agency, Balfour Beatty and Jacobs all working together, and we need to make sure that everyone is working towards that common goal. It's that knowledge sharing and the lessons learning aspect. We have so many different environmental initiatives or efficient ways of working on these projects that may not necessarily get translated to other projects that could be beneficial to them if it wasn't for the internal communications.
So the biggest projects that we've got on the programme, not just at the moment but to date, is our Canvey Island scheme out in Essex. So that's around a £60 million investment to replace the revetments on the sea defences there. Canvey Island's a really interesting part of our estuary. The whole town itself, the island, is below sea level, and it's quite telling when you get out there.
So here at Canvey, there's lots of history given the 1950s flooding and the loss of life that happened at Canvey Island. And the Environment Agency are here to protect the lives of the community and the businesses. We've communicated with the members of the community and businesses and stakeholders by using our project website, where we have lots of information shared on there where people can go online. They can also view a 3D fly-through about the project and what it looks like now and what it will look like once we're finished. We host a weekly drop-in at the local cafe. We also have a frequent newsletter that can be emailed out to residents, businesses and stakeholders, which gives an update on the project, how we're progressing, some really good news stories. We have gone into schools and spoken to them about apprenticeships, both with our delivery partner Balfour Beatty, along with the Environment Agency, and we've worked quite closely with Essex County Councils on their skills and growth team, talking about apprenticeships, talking to young people about what they'd like to do when they leave school. We're also going to be running opportunities for work experiences on the island and opportunities for people to learn about construction and learn about engineering, and even talking about climate change and what work may become available in the future. Working on the project's been really enjoyable as a big team. It's been really fun to meet some of the people that have the time to stop and talk to us about and take interest in the project.
So moving into the next 10-year phase, we're really keen to capitalise on the learning that we've had from this first 10-year programme. I think the most significant thing that we're collectively experiencing as a country is that sea level rise and climate change is becoming much higher up the agenda, and so we're really looking forward to what our current Thames Estuary 2100 plan says around defence raising and replacement of the existing Thames Barrier into the future, and working out when we need to make those defence raises. I think a lot of change will be coming in this next 10-year period, and we really have to be adaptable to make sure that we can meet those challenges.
I'm coming to the end of my career, and I've been in the construction industry for 47 years now. And this is one of the best programmes of works I've ever worked on.
It's just been absolutely fantastic. I've loved working on TEAM2100 and working with everybody on it as well.
It's amazing to be a part of something that is just the beginning of a 100-year strategy that will shape how the Thames Estuary is managed for the future.